All right, everybody. Welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, May the 2nd, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai eating squiggly noodles.
Ramen.
Oh, it's ramen.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Why would you be eating ramen today, Mr. Samurai?
Because it's ramen day in
Happy ramen day.
in my chosen religion.
In your chosen religion?
Pastafarianism.
Pastafarianism. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you did there.
No, it's actually a real thing. And you can look it up. It's on the internet and everything. You can be ordained in the religion.
What do you have to do to be ordained in Pastafarian or Pastafari?
You just ask them.
You just ask them. You
have
have to eat a certain amount of
noodles, pastas, and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But you do have to accept the flying spaghetti monster into your life.
There's always a catch. They always get you.
Remember, he boiled for your sins.
He boiled for your sins.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we're going to get letters.
I was going to say we can keep this going, right? Anyway. So, what else is it today?
It's also World Tuna Day.
Happy World Tuna Day. I know everybody out there is very, into this day, World Tuna Day.
Yeah, because you can tune a piano, but you can't.
Oh fish. God, I don't. You know what?
That was.
I tell a lot of dad jokes. That's one of the worst ones.
Mm-hmm.
That one makes me go. Oh.
That was a dad joke before dad jokes were a thing, though. Was that Groucho Marx?
Probably.
Yeah, this morning I shot an elephant in my pajamas. I got my pajamas on.
How I got in my pajamas, I'll never know. Right? Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, and of course,
this is homemade ramen. I didn't make the noodles, but I did make the soup.
Gotcha. Very nice.
And the chicken and all that. It's good.
You made the chicken?
Well, I cooked the chicken.
You created the chicken?
Yeah, I hatched it from an egg.
Gotcha.
We'll stop right there.
I think we should stop right there
before we get letters from PETA.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do that. So it is also brothers and sisters.
So shout out to our brothers and sisters. My older brother who's been on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Bill on his last time.
Mm-hmm.
And my little sister who never watches the show because she doesn't really drink beer.
There you go. And shout out to my sister as well, and every brother and sister out there. How's that? So there you go. All right.
Stuff's good.
All right. So while you do that, I need a beer. But we have this thing about obviously not having a beer until the guest is on.
Let's bring them on because I need
my thing.
Because this is a little on the spicy. Yeah, because sometimes I'm drinking when the show comes on. Rarely, but.
Exactly.
Yeah, but let's bring them on because I need to wash this down with something.
You need to wash it down. Exactly. So let's please welcome to the show. His second time on the show. Last time was a couple of years ago. Jon Henderson, the president and executive producer of AC Beer and Music Festival and the head honcho at Time Tricycle Productions. How are you, John?
I am well, and yes, he boiled for your sins. I love the Pastafarian reference.
So you know the Pastafarian.
He boiled for your sins.
I know the Pastafarian.
Then
My
you know
son
that
identifies as a Pastafarian.
There you go.
Good for him. Cheers to him.
Yeah.
This Friday starts Ramadan.
Oh, you can't make this up.
Well, someone did apparently.
Just air it. Yeah, you can just air it on the internet.
Exactly.
So what's up, gentlemen?
Ironically, after we're done with the show, I will be eating dinner. I'll give you 3 guesses what I'm eating for dinner.
Not ramen.
No.
Not ramen and not ramen.
Pasta.
There you go.
Pasta.
Dude, I'm going home to a handsome helping of Hamburger Helper.
There you go.
Nice.
It's great.
It is great. Love it. It's always good.
So what's up, gentlemen?
Well, today you should use Tuna Helper because it's World Tuna Day.
This is true.
I'm not that brave.
Well, the whole thing about it's supposed to be like responsible fishing to get so you don't harm the dolphins when you get the tuna.
Exactly. You don't want to do that, right? Exactly. No, we're just chugging along here and enjoying our weekly podcast and it's definitely time to bring you on because there's something coming up in about 3 weeks that
oh gosh, is it only 3 weeks?
4 weeks.
Is
4
it?
weeks. 1, 2,
4
3,
weeks.
4
weeks.
weeks. 4 weeks.
You look,
Oof,
maybe look at my like. Oh, I may not be as prepared as I thought I was.
Oh yeah, I've got some, and I've got some liver priming to do.
See, yes. Yeah. No, we're honestly, what's today? Today's the 2nd, so we're 31 days away from a little shindig we like to throw here in Atlantic City that celebrates beer, the people who make it, and has one hell of a soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that. As a matter of fact, this year's soundtrack is what has finally got me to break my AC Beer Fest cherry.
There is the surprise
Oh.
for you. Dave is finally coming to AC Beer Fest.
We will not be gentle.
Expected to.
We will not be gentle, and you will remember us for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
If I can remember anything.
Oh, you'll
That's
remember.
it.
You'll remember. Well, you remember some stuff. So, but
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
we're stoked.
yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. This is going to be a good one this year. It's going to be. It always is. Every year is amazing. And last year was fantastic. The weather, knock on wood, we get that same weather. Oh my God, last year's weather was great.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna sacrifice one of my kids to Mother Nature. Maybe I'll throw in a goat and see what happens. But yeah, last year it was the weather gods smiled on us. Hopefully, we all the same. But listen, at the end of the day, if you get a little wet, beer's wet, it works.
It all works.
Hey, dance around in a pirate costume with a colander on your head, and that should work too.
Exactly.
There you go.
So, Samurai, what are you drinking? I see you got a.
Beer.
Oh, I see that. You want to tell us what it is?
Yes, and I'm drinking it out of a shilling glass for a reason. As everyone who watched last week and the week prior and the week prior to that, I was in Utah for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the brewery that I fell in love with out there is, well, they were originally known as Templin Family Brewing, but they've shortened it to TF Brewing, and this is the Munich Helles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're like the shilling of Utah.
There you go.
So good. That was hey, we got a good view of the sky there. That was nice.
I like that.
Heck,
Right at the sunroof. That's great.
robot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Nice.
There we go.
But this has got man, yeah, this is a good one. We had this. It's 5% alcohol, and as you know, in Utah, 5% or lower are the only things that could be served on tap. It's the only stuff considered actually beer.
Mm-hmm.
Anything above 5% is considered a spirit in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Go figure. So it did have this on tap in the tap room. So that's where you have beer on tap, is in the tap room.
Well, I would imagine that's where you had. I don't think you had their beer on tap in the bathroom or in the parking lot.
Now that'd be awesome to have the tap in the bathroom. Actually,
I don't know about that.
Actually, there is was it Brewdog? If you stay, they're out in like Columbus, and if you stay there, you can have a hotel room that's got a beer cooler in the shower.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You can pour a beer while you're in the shower. You can have it's your very own shower beer tap. So.
No, it's not a tap. It's actually a beer cooler.
Oh, it's a cooler? Is it? Cool.
Yeah, the tap is actually on the dresser.
Oh, there you go.
You got to pay a little extra to have the tap activated.
I get it.
That's awesome.
I am. I'm gonna enjoy first. I was gonna have this beer second, but I'm gonna have it first. I just want to have it first. It's Unknown Beast from Dissolver.
Oh.
It's a Schwartz.
So what was that? 23 a can?
Yeah, ish. Right. That's so good. So I'm gonna enjoy that really quick, and then of course, proper glassware.
Proper glassware.
There you go.
I wish I had one of those.
I think you do.
Oh wait, I do.
There you go. All right.
Something right there.
Got to get John one. I'll bring you one down to AC.
Yeah, I've got. I'm on my way home with my hamburger helper. I'm not going to drink a beer now because I'm operating a large motor vehicle. But when I get home, I've got the seed, that Pilsner. What's it? I think it's like as simple as spring.
Oh yeah.
Got to pour that in a glass with my hamburger helper, and that's what I'm going with.
There you go.
It's a beautiful thing right there.
Very nice. I'm having this week too because I'll be in Asheville on Friday. So at some point I will be at Dissolver on Friday. So I'll bring you some more back. Okay.
Oh, Dissolver, yes, please. Crap. I was confusing. The comment I made was not about Dissolver. It was what was I thinking of? I was thinking of Drecker. Sorry.
Oh, Drecker, right? Yeah. It does look like a Drecker label a little bit.
It does look like a Drecker label, so that's why I thought it was.
Got a couple of quick comments on here. Tom Mulvihill said "Bon appetit." Obviously, that was for Dave when he was eating.
It's yum yums.
Gene Lynch said ACBF and cheers. So obviously,
we really need to know what Campanile is talking about.
And I waited for the second comment. I waited till the last. Dave, please let us know exactly what you meant by this one. Lots of Vaseline.
Maybe that's his Tuesday night. Who knows?
It could be.
Or maybe that's what he puts in his hamburger helper.
Maybe he puts lots of Vaseline in his hamburger helper. That's possible. So all right. So all right, John, spill the beans. Let everybody know who's performing at this year's AC Beer Music Festival.
So we have a Dropkick Murphys and 311 creating the soundtrack for beer discovery to kind of hang out with 100 of our closest brewery friends and kind of just pour over 400 different beers in our face holes. So yeah, we've been trying to meet. Dropkick's kind of one of the bucket list bands, and 311's in that list as well. We've made both bands offers over the last decade, and it just so happened that this year was the year. It's it's going to be outside on Bader Field, 2 sessions, Saturday from 2 to 6, and then again Sunday from 12 to 4. We're expecting about 17,000 of our closest friends.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Nice. And the 3 people you see on the show right here will all be there. So
we will be there with bells on.
With bells on.
I gotta wear bells.
We can provide them for you if you don't have them.
Okay.
Well, we've got to be able to find you. It's your first time, and safety is
exactly
too. So.
And speaking of his first time, he said he was going to be popping his Atlantic City Beer Music Festival cherry. So that's what Dave Campanile was referring to. He said, "Bring lots of Vaseline." Being rough on him, he said. So there we go. And then Gene Lynch commented, "Wrong group, bro."
Yeah, right. Know your audience.
Know your audience. Anyway, cool. Yeah, it's amazing that you got those 2 bands this year. That's great. Yeah. Kudos to you. That was a coup. That was good.
And when I saw the Dropkicks on the list, it's like, this is the year. This is when I go.
Yeah, I mean we've been hosting live music at the festival since 2010. So. Dropkick always being on that bucket list, and in indoors, to be very candid, if the festival was still indoors, they would just be too big for kind of that indoor scenario, especially being able to hear and conversate, and so the outside vibe lends itself to really being able to party with Dropkick.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait for both, even 311 on Sunday though, both of them. That's going to be an amazing show.
311 is going to be nice. There's going to be a nice haze of nature in the air. And I ain't mad about it.
As if 109 was added to 311.
That's it.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I broke the rule.
I was told there would be no math.
There's no mathing on the show. Sorry, I set that rule. I broke my own rule.
You did. You set that rule. That's awesome.
So I believe 311 from a police standpoint, and this is very Googleable. I think it's like naked in public, or it has some connotation to a police a code for when they call in on the radio. We've got a 311 in progress, blah blah blah. And I believe it's nude in public.
Interesting.
Very Googleable. Very Googleable.
Very interesting. I'm gonna check it out right now. As a matter of fact,
actually, I'm doing it at the moment.
All right, well, you do it then.
I know.
Well, it's also a hotline.
311, yeah, like 411 or 611 or 911.
It's lewd conduct with a minor, actually.
Lewd conduct with
no. It's child pornography. Lewd conduct with child pornography.
No, it's not. What? It can't be.
That's what it says. What is code 311?
Google, it's real.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, look at that! What a terrible name for a band.
No, in this one, apparently in Omaha, it is indecent exposure. So I don't know which code this is.
Yeah, no, you're looking at something else. This is 311 police code is the meaning for police forces. For police forces,
that's California. In California,
loud. It's loud and obscene. That's what 311 is.
But actually, in California, it's child pornography.
There you go. 311 is the code for loud and obscene. Somebody being loud and obscene.
Okay,
that's what 311.
Okay, see, I knew it was something like that.
We had to we had to vet that one because I didn't want to leave it
Yeah,
on the
no,
show. But
that's why I was
311 is
still
great
looking.
pornography.
Yeah, so the police
Right?
code's
Holy shit.
Okay.
The basic 311 is loud and obscene, but in California, because
So
the things that happen in California,
they really can't play in California then. You know?
I think we just
well, they can to a very select audience.
nothing good comes from going to
Nothing
California.
good.
Clearly, it's
No,
going to
no,
fall
nothing.
into the ocean anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, so John, I want to take you back for a minute. What's your fondest memory of the first beer fest you ever did?
From the first one,
Yeah.
the fact that people showed up, because if we go back, it's like that. I was just like, holy
That's
shit,
fair.
you're all here.
That was
Yeah,
06, right?
I was 06. It was before
06.
kind of craft beer really kind of got its foothold in kind of people's flavor profile and it kind of went running. And I know we had put it out there and we had a lot of people who just didn't believe that it was a thing. I said, it's going to be a festival and thousands of people and it's this opportunity for discovery. And I've been using that since 2006, that phrase, opportunity for discovery, with pretty much everything I do.
Sure.
We walk in this sex shop with my wife. I'm like, but it's an opportunity for discovery.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a 311.
But yeah, so yeah, we got a 311 in progress, 311 in progress. So yeah, it was the fact that, that first year, 3,000 people showed up to kind of drink, to drink outside of, at the time, what was the norm. So yeah, I think that's my fondest memory is just like, at the time, I was really into, just better beer and being able to expose that, to other people and showing them like, hey, man, there's so many more options, and that was, it took a year to produce, a year to talk the planet into it. And so that was 19 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, wow, I'm proud of it. I'll tell you that I'm proud of it. I'm proud of kind of, this little festival, which is not a little festival anymore, but
Not
its
even close,
place in kind of, its place in craft beer, I guess, history, right?
Sure.
On the East Coast, not even New Jersey, but the East Coast in general.
Yep,
Absolutely.
Actually, isn't it the second largest in the country?
I believe so. Things shift, but we're in that top 5. I don't know any of them that are at this point. It's funny. I get that. Oh, you're one of the biggest in the country. You're big. The less post-COVID, I stopped giving a shit. I stopped caring whether. It was like, who am I measuring dicks with? The biggest beer festival. I don't care. Do thousands of people come out and have a great time? Are we doing what we can do to keep smiles on faces, to affect the economic impact for breweries across the country and for the beer in our region and for Atlantic City? Yeah, we're checking all that box. So I don't give a fuck if we're the biggest, the second biggest, the third biggest.
Right.
But I do believe we are the second biggest. But regardless, after post-COVID, it was like, holy shit, I'm just glad people are coming out. If it's 100 people, if it's 10,000 people, man, I stopped kind of measuring. And I think that's kind of actually been pretty good for my mental health, kind of not worrying kind of where we were in the lineup of, what the people said. Is it a popularity contest or is it just a great fucking event?
Right.
Cheers to that mindset.
There we go. Oh, that's going to keep happening. Fuck it. And then, I don't know that I have 17, if I could form 17 memories from 17 years of the festival, but I can tell you it's been a hell of a ride, man. And, I'm fortunate to be the guy that kind of spearheads this team that does this. And we do a bunch of these things, and Beer Fest is just one of them. But that's afforded us the opportunity to do the fun, creative things like Witchcraft and
oh my god, Witchcraft's amazing.
Oh, I gotta make it.
Yeah,
we took part in all 3 of them last year, and Down Beach was great, and Witchcraft, forget about it. We'll definitely stay the second night this year too. We're not gonna bail on the second night.
Yeah.
We got home, but we're like, we should have stayed, so we're staying the second night.
Now we've got plans for each night, kind of for those who decide to stay, and a little more fun, a little more entertainment, and then the people who are trying to sleep, fuck them.
I think on the Friday night, I think I got to sleep at 4:30, and I was up at 7. So what the hell?
Why about sleeping?
by 7 o'clock, I had machines running and picking up trash, so nobody.
Well, that's why I was up at 7.
Like you said, people are trying to sleep. Fuck them.
Yep.
It was good. That
The
was
weekend
great.
party.
It was
Yeah,
awesome.
now we're proud. Like, we're proud, man. We're proud, and it's like, you know, craft beer. You know, this festival is lent to opportunities for hundreds and hundreds of people. It's funny. I got a call on Monday from a young lady who met her fiance at Beer Fest. He
Really?
engaged. He proposed at Beer Fest, and they're doing their wedding engagement photos this year at Beer Fest.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do for next year.
I think your robot's drunk.
I just had my truck detailed, and they washed normally this friggin' thing sticks well, but they did something to the windshield, and now the shit just
It's
popped
falling off.
Right up.
Yeah,
They probably waxed the thing.
so
Yeah.
right. So
Well, that's
I
an
think
old
next year.
trick.
For next year, I think I'm going to get ordained and see how many people we can get to get married at Beer Fest.
So you can be ordained in the Pastafarian church. There you go, right there.
Boom,
There you go.
Boom. He
Done.
boiled
See that?
for us.
Done. He boiled for
Yeah.
us sins. Brendan Forbes
I'll
just
have a
commented,
blank
no
spaghetti
sleep, keep going. Obviously, he's referring
Well,
it.
he's used to that if he's got a little one like that
Well,
and
Brendan,
a
he
piano.
knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
does.
dude who knows what he's talking about.
This is very true. This is very true.
Yep.
Yeah, because every year is like every beer fest you've done. I'm not blowing smoke. I've been to all of them. They're just 2 years ago, 2021. That was the first year on Baderfield. That was the only one I missed. I didn't get down there.
Yeah, we were the first large scale minus some sporting events. We were the first big event to happen on the East Coast.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. There was, I mean, I had news people coming. I had they were telling me the governor's coming. And at this time, it was a very contentious point with breweries and the governor. And I'm like, these guys don't want him here at all. Like, tell him to stay outside and wave. You know, don't relate it. Yep. We had helicopters going over top, taking video of like thousands of people. We had the whole thing spread out. We took over 1.2 million square feet to spread everybody out. And it was just like, and nobody wore masks. No, it was just like a whole, like, oh shit, they're out. You know, they let them loose. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah. Brendan Forbes just commented. He said his wife's friend from college met her husband at the 2014 Beer Fest. There you go.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. It's funny. My Bree on my team met her fiance Brad, who's one of the brewers at Cape May. She met him at Beer Fest. Yeah, and I've got like there's this group that runs around. One of the dudes is in a monkey suit, Hot Daddy and the Monkey Puppets. He met his wife at Beer Fest. I'm like open. I'm not responsible for any of this shit, whether it works out great or not. Like, you know,
wait a second.
great,
He was in the monkey suit when she met him.
Yeah.
Did she fall in love with him or the suit?
Yeah. What if her fetish is that he throws poo around the room?
It could very well be.
Wow.
You know, but yeah.
That's good. I'm sure California's got a police code for that one.
There's definitely a police code in California for that one.
Yeah, that's just 2.
Number 2.
Number 2.
We've got a number 2. We've got a number 2 in progress.
Yep.
We told you before, call animal control.
Exactly.
No, but this is a dude in this suit.
Gotta love it.
We'll
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So what else? Yeah. What else is planned that you can talk about anyway? That you want to talk about now anyway for this year, other than obviously the bands, some of the other entertainment or acts are walking around. I mean, there's plenty of that last year walking around, and there's so much more that you do.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a thing. That's always a thing, right? You know, switching it up a little bit, bringing some things back. Ixnay and the Clowns, because I almost killed a bunch of the fucking things.
That's doing the world a service right there, John.
Yeah.
You just like, here's a note. Clowns, great for birthday parties, terrible for drunken festivals. Terrible.
But you know what? I will say one thing. I was at Hunapoo. There was one clown there who really did belong there. His name was Touchy the Clown.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, not the clown, not the same clown from a kid's birthday party.
No, not at all.
Yep.
Because otherwise, California's having a 3.
That's where that California 311 comes into play. Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
Nah, so I'm gonna keep some of it under my hat because
Sure.
I like the surprise.
Well,
And
yeah, that's why I said
it's
just what that you want to say anyway that you wanted to talk about.
we're
But
gonna
yeah,
bring the demos back. We're gonna engage some folks. We think people need to learn about kind of what's going on with craft beer in New Jersey. So there's gonna be a panel that talks about that. I mean, it's practically a food festival. Oh, I almost died. It's practically a food festival as well. I mean, we've got 15 different food trucks and culinary partners at the festival. So we're super proud of kind of the food offering, right? Because as a fat guy, I appreciate food. Just the variety of beer that's coming out. I mean, I think what we've got to get back to, I think there's been way too many distractions with RTDs and seltzers. And, we got to get back to showing people that beer's just the better alternative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're really I stand on that high horse pretty bad. It's almost obnoxious, because, this is the first year that we've allowed a couple breweries to bring kind of their alternative. I don't know how I feel about it, but, I know a lot of people from a consumer standpoint have been asking, hey, I'm watching my boyish figure, something 0 calorie. I want to shove them in the bay. We're bringing the comedy clubs back. That was a really fun spot. So we're going to do some live art. We're actually going to do a consistently running cornhole tournament during the event. Just kind of lots of fun interactive stuff. I mean, the good part about the festival, there's a lot of good part about the festivals, but you don't have to really be a beer person to kind of really enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
But
100%.
if you decide that you're going to take this journey to kind of find that next beer for you, man, we're the right place for it, because we're going to have plenty of distractions and 100+ breweries that really kind of wet your whistle and kind of figure out what's next for you in the craft beer world or the beer world or the beverage world.
Speaking of next beers, John, I'm already on my second.
Oh, you are? Let me throw it up. What's your second there?
I have another TF brewing here from Salt Lake City Granary. This is their Keller beer. And you drink enough of those, you'll be falling over like his phone. This is only 4.7, but man, this is crisp. It's got a nice little bite to it.
Nice.
John's gone blind.
There he is.
There he is.
There he goes.
Okay. He went dark.
I strapped it to something else.
Not asking.
Yeah, right.
We'll leave that one alone.
Bring in that Vaseline.
Exactly. Speaking of the Vaseline comment, Dave Campanel's got another one. He wants to know: is Scott Wells partaking on the panel discussion?
Is he banned?
No, absolutely not.
No, not at all.
Absolutely,
of course.
Jason from Icarus and I talked about it the other night. I'm going to get a couple more guys on the panel to kind of really talk through. But of course, ideally, Scott's schedule on the weekend is wonky. He usually sends the festival team down. But if Scott's there, he'll want to jump in. Scott loves to hear himself talk.
Of course.
And he'll also sleep someplace inappropriately.
He kind of slots in with the three of us. He loves to hear himself talk. So.
Yeah.
Scott's fantastic. Scott, I'll tell you, the Bob and Scott have been good friends of the festival for a long time. Anytime we're kind of vetting things out, I do tend to kind of reach out to Bob and Scott and say, hey, where's your thoughts?
Oh, they're good friends of the show too. We make fun of them all the time, but they know it and they love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's all done with love, right? It's all done out of love. But I was just with Bob today.
Inappropriate, non-consensual love.
This is true. There's no 311 in progress. So.
There's no 311 in progress.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
But that would be awesome. But the reason I chuckled when I read Dave's comment was I could see, not at getting contentious, but I could see Scott really getting emotional about anything that's going on in the panel discussion, depending on where that panel discussion goes, right? But that would be interesting, and it would be actually probably really good too, informative.
Oh, absolutely,
and fun and fun, like from my standpoint anyway, fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But in any event, you're right though.
I can imagine when they have these guild meetings with the ABC, and when they go to the offices of the ABC and they head to Trenton, that Trenton looks at Scott and the crew coming in, and more so Scott, like merchant ships being invaded by pirates.
Or drunken raccoons.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy, and quite literally true, probably.
Yeah,
to some extent. It's
he would have made a great pirate.
Who says he's not?
Who says he's not? I think he is.
He might be.
Totally. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Dread Pirate Scott.
Dread Pirate.
Yeah.
You can't say anything but the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Roberts.
That's the only thing you do.
Yeah. Well. Also, that's not going to work then.
No,
he would make a great Dread Pirate Robert.
Yeah, Robert. I mean, Bob can be that Dread Pirate Robert, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't think
nice
Bob's too nice to be a pirate. Absolutely.
Just like that.
Anyway.
He would be the Jolly Robert. That's what he's being.
The Jolly Robert.
Exactly.
He's also a little too, let's say, naturally chill.
Yes.
You may say that. You may say that. So all right.
We all know your car's VIN number now.
Yeah, right.
You read that? You read that?
Right?
Holy crap! You got great eyesight, and that's. I mean, I can't. So there you go. But gotta love the love the mustache. That's a great shot of the mustache shot from right there too.
You like that? It's a lifestyle.
That's the up nostril shot.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys are cocaine for breakfast. Yeah.
There you go.
You keep yourself. Oh, so I was going to say you keep yourself well trimmed, but I guess you're just burning the hairs out then. Okay.
That's it. That's it.
601. Anybody want to catch that view? That's just listening to the audio version of the podcast. Check it out about 31 minutes in. So there you go.
No, that was about 31:45. There you go.
There you go. Well,
it's gonna fall again and fall again and
At
fall
some
again.
point,
So it'll be part of the thud.
So,
and the thing is, just like most of us will be doing when we're at AC Beer Fest, we'll fall,
thud.
We'll get back up. We'll fall, we'll get back up. Like they say, it's not how many times you fall down; it's how often you get back up.
I may hire somebody to follow Samurai around with the camera just to see if that actually does happen.
Oh, I'm probably going to go live on Lager Room Guys from there, and you'll see how many times I fall down.
There you go. That's cool.
Just strap a GoPro to his chest.
There you go.
I have a GoPro. I can. Maybe I'll get like one of those harnesses where it's out here and just looking at me, and that way they can see the reaction of everybody around me as I fall down all the time.
There you go. Are the Wort podcast guys going to be there again this year?
I believe so.
All right. So because Matt and I got on the show with them at one point last year. So Dave, maybe you and I can get on the show. I'm sure they're going to want to see me and Matt again. So maybe you and I can jump on with them as the Log Room guys.
And
I follow Matt on Instagram. It's like where's Waldo? That dude is everywhere.
Well, the thing is, there are times where he's everywhere, and there's times where it's just he was there 6 years ago. He was there 25 years ago.
Is that what he's doing?
But it's still impressive.
Yeah, he's not. These are all old pictures. Like even like one somebody actually looked at me one day and said, "John, how is Matt partners with you in the brewery when he's all over the world every day?"
How did he brew today when he was in Antigua?
It was like you guys brewed today. He was in Tunisia. What the hell was that? So So now these are all old pictures, and he posts them every day and tags and the location tagging and everything else. But yeah, they're amazing photos, obviously.
They're fantastic.
Dude had an amazing life, and now he's strapped with John forever.
Just making beer.
Just making beer. And sitting back,
tasty beer,
drinking beer, having a cigar, and enjoying. That's it, right? That's it.
Hey, a good cigar and a beer. Now you're speaking my language.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I gave up cigars years ago,
but he still knows brands, so that's foreshadowing for the list in a little while. But we'll get there.
That thing that we do.
Yeah, I'm. A good cigar and a good beer. That's. If I could do that every night, I will. If it's a nice night out, I can light my fire pit, go pour a like a half a glass of a barrel aged barley wine or something, and light a cigar.
That's a nice pairing. Mm-hmm. But you know, one of my favorite pairings is the cigar and a nice over roasty stout.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I like it. Because what I love about it is the cigar changes in flavor, and that roasty stout, you start pulling the sweet notes out of that stout as the the roast and the smoke of the cigar cancel each other out. I just love that.
I like that as well, but excuse me, I like that as well. But the barrel notes, the bourbon notes from
they've got
from a good bourbon barrel. It's even bourbon barrel sttout, but certainly a barley wine even more so. And even just a glass of bourbon too.
Actually, my favorite stout to have with the cigar was Yeti, because Yeti's got that nice, beautiful harshness to it in the roasts.
Excuse me.
That it stands up to a cigar.
Mm-hmm. What's your John? What's your favorite cigar pairing? Is it a beer? Is it bourbon? Is it
It's beer. It's beer. I mean, I predominantly drink beer. You know, when I'm drinking beer, when I drink, I predominantly drink beer. But you know, I'm with you. You know, the richness of a stout, and then you get like a bold, like I'm a Maduro guy. Like I like that, you know, medium to full body.
Yeah.
You know, and then with a nice retro hail, which just you know, just kind of everything curls and it's very
But yeah, you're right. That's a Maduro with a nice roasty stout.
Yeah,
that was my favorite pairing. To be more specific.
I'm a big Maduro guy. I want a little bit more beef to the cigar.
Do either of you drink smoked Verts, the greens?
What's that?
The green cigars. What's the name?
No.
Claro? No.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I've been a cigar guy for 30 years. I've owned owned a cigar shop for, you know, a bunch of years as a hobby. You know, from a culture standpoint, you know, I've had some of the best stories and best adventures, you know, and, you know, end up smoking a cigar. I've always treated a cigar like a kind of a reward for a day well had, right?
You know what?
Because I smoke a cigar every night. You know, I can sit in front of my laptop or whatnot and just, you know, cut a cigar, pour a beer, and just, you know, chill out. So yeah, I mean, and I smoke all over the map, but I tend to smoke right in that medium bodied range, and everything seems to be like I lean towards Nicaragua, I lean towards Maduro.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I definitely lean towards Maduro as well. Nicaragua, Dominican, some a little beefier Dominicans but yeah, I mean,
when I smoked, I tended towards the Dominicans.
A little bit like Nicaraguans are a little bit beefier, a little bit I would say harsh because they're not harsh. Depending on what your palate is, they're not harsh.
Bold,
earthy, bold. They're a little more bold, right?
Boom!
No, that was a good one.
That was a good one. That was good.
That was the most violent tumble yet.
That was the best.
It was because I stuck it up there. I'm like looking around my truck going, I know I have super glue in here. Fuck
it. So they put something on the inside of those windows. So
they did. I'm like, why is this not working?
Well, you know what? Before we get to the top 3 list, what other festivals? Other than obviously we talk about AC Beer Fest, but we mentioned Down Beach Seafood Festival, which is typically in September, and Witchcraft, which is typically in October. What other festivals do you have going on this year?
So May 13th, we've got the Atlantic City Cigar Social with our friends from the Borgata and Cigar Snob magazine, which is a fantastic friggin' event. It's 20 manufacturers, lots of liquids, you know, beers, bourbons, tequilas, a culinary lineup that'll blow your mind, kind of representing kind of the whole taste and flavor of Borgata. So that's May 13th. I think there's only like 40 tickets left, so that's a rad event. Then we go into the Beer Fest 2 weeks later, June 3rd and 4th. After that, you know, it is probably our smallest or littlest event, no pun intended. It's Knee High Knuckle Buster Micro Wrestling at the Ducktown, which is it's a blast. We've been doing it for 7 years. We have a blast doing it. And then, you know, I jump on the back of my motorcycle and I disappear somewhere in the country. I'm heading to Alaska, cross-country motorcycle ride.
Wow.
Come back. Down Beach Seafood Festival, which is September 9th and 10th. If you're looking for an amazing culinary experience, and John, you've experienced it, there's really not a better food festival.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
But, yeah, there's really not a better one in the state. Kind of partial, but it's an accurate statement. And then October 13th and 14th, Friday the 13th, which we're excited about, Witchcraft returns to Paradise Lakes Campgrounds. For, you know, it's a mystical encounter with brews and spirits. So I like to say, you know, people really they miss this one, and you know, we have one of our cleverer moments. Witchcraft is actually a play on words for this festival. Yes, it's a Halloween event, and yes, witchcraft, and it all brewed and hoo-ha. But essentially, it's also a play on which craft do you prefer, because we're craft beer, we're craft spirits, so it leans on that, and we do it in a really fun, fantastic Halloween fashion. In a place, it's an abandoned campgrounds, out in the middle of nowhere. It's a dirt road that's 1.5 miles long. You got to take a bus to get there. And it's spooky. It's got a really cool spooky vibe. We have fires everywhere. We've got psychic mediums all over the place. We do, some fun stuff on stage. Really proud of it. It features almost 70 different beverage varieties, 5 or 8 different restaurants, a lot of vendors, a lot of activities, and it celebrates Halloween while getting you a little tipsy. I like to say, grown-ups, take your Halloween back, and here's how we do it.
There you go.
And then,
it's a great event. It's so well. I mean, just the lighting and the atmosphere that's created at the event is just amazing. It's just
deep in the heart of the Pinelands.
Correct. Yep. Home of the Jersey Devil, right there.
Yeah.
And then rolling.
He was drinking with us last year.
Yeah.
He came up to the booth.
Mother Lee's Baby is old enough to drink.
I think, Dave, I didn't tell you this. The best was, do you know Brian O'Halloran?
Name sounds familiar.
He was Dante in Clerks.
Okay. Yes.
He was at Witchcraft last year. You know what he came dressed as?
Dante and Clerks.
Dante and Clerks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he just had the movie drop, right? Brian's a friend.
Right.
He's been a friend for.
I've known Brian too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's and I said to him, I was like, you don't want to do the Dracula thing? He's like, dude, I just dropped a movie. I want to be me in my. I was like, no, I get it. Do it. It's smart.
Do it.
Go for it.
Yeah. And then we fall under in November, first weekend in November. It's the Atlantic City Tattoo Expo, which we've been doing for 21 years.
Right.
And then December 16th, I am very anti-Christmas. I'm the very anti-Christmas. I think the worst in people comes out around the holidays and Christmas.
Yeah, so, I worked retail, so I agree with you.
You are painfully aware, yes. So what we're doing this year is we're doing the anti-Christmas event on December 16th, and it's essentially where do the monsters go for the holidays? And we're going to throw that party at Anchor Rock Club.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
Our dance card is very, very full this year.
That's awesome. Where do the monsters go for the holidays? I like that. That. December 16th.
Is that the monsters with MU, like with Lily and Herman and that?
Nope. Use that. Yeah. So just a great lineup of stuff this year, man. I'm pretty stoked. Great. It's a lot of work. But the planet is getting back to normal as the planet gets, and we're just gonna embrace our ability to throw a fucking party.
That's awesome.
That's all it's about.
That's all it's about.
That's it. That's it.
The where do the monsters go for the holidays? You're a funny guy there, Dave. Funny guy there.
You say monsters, I think.
Yeah, I got you. And speaking of that, I'm just looking for one thing here. Here you go. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. I'll just put it up in the picture. There you go.
That's awesome. There it goes. That's awesome.
That was a great ball shot right there.
As you can tell, yeah, right.
That's a few years ago, is it, John?
As you can tell, you look at my beard in this picture. It's a couple of years ago. So.
That's it. Maybe 3 years ago.
He was. Al Lewis was. I think he was 92 in this picture, and that was 22 years ago. So
yeah, we've lost quite a few members of that show.
Yeah. But in any event, that was a pretty cool night. But in any event, cool. Yeah, I look forward to a lot of these festivals, and clearly, you'll see me at 3 of them, but probably more. So I'm really interested in that monsters, Dave. Monsters. Where do the monsters go for the holidays?
Not the cheese.
Not
Munster
the
cheese. Where's Munster cheese go?
My Munster cheese is good around the holidays.
I love
all year long.
It melts so well.
Very well. It does. Anyway, all right. So we've talked about.
You're not interested in the cigar one, Johnny.
I would be interested in the cigar one. However, I'll still be on my way back from Craft Brewers Conference. So I will not be able to.
John will send a helicopter for you.
There you go. There you go. We'll be driving back.
Picked up.
We're actually leaving Nashville on the 12th and driving back by way of Louisville, and we're getting back to Pittsburgh, and then we'll be back on probably late Saturday night, very early Sunday morning, like 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, Sunday morning.
John will come pick you up on his bike.
There you go.
That's it. Yep,
So
absolutely.
just ride out and meet me in Pittsburgh and pick me up, and the rest of it, everybody else could just drive back.
There you go.
I'll come back for the best, but I would be there if it wasn't for that. If we were getting back before that, I'd come down for that. Definitely.
Sponsor product placement.
Very nice, very nice. I don't know that I'm gonna. You know what? Screw it. I'll open my other beer. Only because I want to pour it in the glass that I'm pouring it in. Hold on.
I'm on my third beer, John.
So why don't you tell us what the third beer is while I pour my second?
It's from a brewery we've had on the show, Ghost Hawk Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Raven Dark, as John pointed out. One of the brewers at Ghost Hawk comes from Defiant, and this was brewed at Defiant before it was brewed at Raven at Ghost Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Raven Dark. This is an import stout. Comes in at 7.3%. So I'll sleep well tonight and screw work in the morning.
Screw work.
Fantastic. Ghost Hawk is probably one of my favorite New Jersey breweries.
I love them because
next to Bolero, Snort, and Coastal Brewworks, of course.
Of course.
Well, that's a given. That's a given.
Yeah. And the thing is, I love the fact. I mean, I probably go there all the time, even if their beer wasn't great, but because they're right across the street from Rutt's Hut, the #1 hot dog joint in the country.
Of course.
But the fact that they make great friggin' beer, and they just celebrated their 4th anniversary.
They did.
Congratulations to Steve and the gang. And man, I just hope they keep going forever.
Yeah. I worked with Chris for years up at Defiant, but yeah, Steve's a great guy too, and they make great beer. I love what they do.
I'm waiting for their anniversary stout, Good Boy Stout, to come out. He hasn't released a 4th anniversary stout yet because he's still got some 3rd anniversary.
3rd anniversary.
Yeah.
All right, my second beer, my next beer. I'll just say.
I recognize that label.
No, it's not what you think.
Oh, it's not.
It's called Buck.
Exactly what I thought it was.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, sure. My Buck. Not it's a My Buck, but it's My Buck. Okay. I just grabbed it at the brewery today at Bolero. Like I said, I was up by Bob earlier. Talking about we'll actually be introducing a new beer at AC Beer Fest this year.
It's got an 8% Maibach.
It's an 8% Maibach. So, but this is the glass that I poured it in.
Nice little Hops Trot 5K.
There you go.
Magical.
So why don't you tell everybody about? I'm assuming Hops Trot's happening this year. So why don't you tell everybody?
I always for some reason Hops Trot 5K. It's kind of the silliest 5K you can run. We're put a bunch of obstacles and
next to the zombie run
it's Atlantic City. So if you notice, there's a bunch of fucking zombies in Atlantic City. So it's almost a zombie run as well.
It's zombies in Atlantic City 365 days a year. So.
That's it. Yeah. Yep. Nice. Well, look at my wife's out with the dog, looking at me like I'm crazy, talking in my car.
Is he talking to himself?
Having a conversation with the steering wheel again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I do appreciate the yoga pants she's wearing, kind of all those things.
There you go. You gotta love it.
That's it. Anyway.
So,
you're talking about your wife, not the dog, right?
That's it. Yeah. My dog's got
dog's not wearing.
Yeah. Right.
We've got a new product.
There you go. Right.
Dog yoga pants.
Doggy yoga pants. So the Hops Trot 5K. So it begins from. Is it starting at Ocean again?
It starts at the Ocean. Here's the fun part about it. I mean, of course, the Hops Trot includes your Beer Fest ticket. If you run fast enough, you can be one of the first people in the festival. I mean, shit, you can get there by 11 o'clock, and you got an hour. Yeah, you got an hour on everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I probably wouldn't get there till like 4.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny because
Dave, you could walk a 5K faster than 5.5 hours. Okay.
Yeah. We've already talked about me falling down a lot.
You'd be surprised at the people that roll in. You know, they start off at start at 10:45, and I got people rolling in at 1:00. I'm like, did you stop and eat a pizza? What the fuck? Yeah,
Well, definitely. When they stopped to have one of the beers, they probably had a second and a third, and then decided to mosey on.
We've lost people. We've lost people to bars in Atlantic City. Stop. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Well, you know, wait a second. Does the path go anywhere near White House?
No, purposefully.
Okay, because otherwise you lose more people.
Yeah, it's true. It's actually accurate.
Running across the finish line at Bader Field
with a hoagie,
right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, their sandwiches are so damn good.
Gotta love it. The
Italians, you smell like it for 3 days after you eat it.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful smell.
It is. It's a lovely thing.
Yes, it is.
And you're gonna attract a very interesting breed of woman.
That's it.
If she likes that smell, then I want to be with her.
Yeah, that's it. If she likes that smell, I don't want to be with her.
I'm with John on that one.
Yeah.
Which one? We're both Johns.
Yes. Exactly.
He's good.
This way, if Carrie's listening, I can't get in trouble.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fair enough. Oh, I'm dead.
That was the best. That was the best one. That was by far the best
thing
one.
this time. Yeah,
it
broke my stupid thing. Fucking piece of shit. Anyway, but yeah, right. Hopstrap 5K, it's a banger.
It's a banger. It's really good. Enjoy. Yeah, if you run at all, or even if you just like run for fun or whatever, look into it. Especially if you're coming down. If you want to go there and you haven't bought your ticket yet, I'm just doing a plug for John. Seriously, think about if you run at all, get the ticket for the Hopstrap 5K. It includes your ticket for obviously Sunday. It's a blast. Running that run is a blast, and you get in early. You get to have beers before anybody else does, and you got the whole day too. And you'll see 311 that day as well.
Yeah, and listen, even if you have your Beer Fest ticket, you can go on the acbeerfest.com, click on the Hopstrap, and there's an opportunity to upgrade your ticket to Hopstrap 5K.
Oh, I was going to ask that, but I've already got my ticket, and if for some insane reason I decided to do this thing.
Yeah, but you're going on Saturday, the Hopstrap.
Oh, I'm going on Saturday, yeah. So on Sunday, the main reason to go is the Hopstrap and 311. Mm-hmm. On Saturday, the main reason to go is you got the drop kicks, and I'll be there.
There you go. And Dave will be there.
Sold.
Yeah, forget about me and John. Dave will be there.
Come find me. Buy me a drink. Buy me a drink. It's a freaking beer fest.
Buy you a drink. There you go.
That's it.
Come drink with me. You find me at the beer festival. Come drink with me. We'll take a picture. We'll put it up on Locker Room Guys.
The Locker Room Guys. There you go. We'll put it up. There you go.
Boom.
Fair enough.
Deal.
All right. Well, I think it's time we do our top 3 list. What do you think?
What is the top 3? Because we haven't talked about it yet.
We haven't talked about it like 30 times. Top 3 list tonight, and we would only, honestly, and I'm not blowing smoke, John, we would only do this particular list with you. So,
absolutely. There's no way it would have been done with anyone else.
Exactly. So tonight's top 3 list is top 3 favorite cigar brands. Top 3 favorite cigar brands. So John, we're gonna let you kick it off, please.
So I'm going to go in the order of kind of where I'm at, right? So right now, wow. All right. So top 3. So, and it's kind of, it's different than kind of what we spoke about before, but I always, every time I can get my hands on it, it's a nice cigar to have. Is the Davidoff Tubo. Love the cigar. It's a smooth cigar. It's kind of a treat for yourself. Fantastic cigar.
Actually, have one of those.
Oh, they're so nice. It's so smooth.
It's surprising.
Good cigar.
It's got a leaf specifically in it that gives it this little bit of sweetness that not any other cigar on the planet has. If you're a cigar guy, it's a refined cigar guy's thing. It's very, your palate to really enjoy the Davidoff you can't pick up a Davidoff as your first cigar and really appreciate it.
You can't.
You have to kind of grow into the Davidoff. My number 3 would be the Liga Privada number 9. My number 2, I'm sorry, would be the Liga Privada number 9. That has been my go-to smoke. I actually, back when I owned the cigar shop, I introduced that cigar to New Jersey. It's a bold cigar. It was designed by Steve Sacca, put out by True Estates, as their premium line, Liga Privada. it's a medium to full body cigar. A lot of richness, a lot of dark. You get chocolate tones from it. It pairs very well with brown liquor. Pairs very well with a dark beer. It's not as readily available as you'd like for it to be, but a good cigar shop usually gets it. And then my final would be Dumbarton, and I'm high on this cigar right now. I mean, it's very hard to get. The Saka Khan by Steve Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco. It is probably as flavorful and as deep as you're going to get on a cigar. The cigar itself, I believe it's a 52 by 7.
Really?
So it's a bigger, longer,
It's a big cigar, yeah.
Yeah. But the flavor profile changes, and it changes. Really? It's got a nut. It's complicated. It's a complicated, like when you first fire up the cigar, and whenever you smoke these 3 cigars, always match light them, don't butane light them, match light them, roast the tip. Don't, because what a lot of people do is when they smoke a cigar, I'm going to cigar dork out on you guys, right?
So I'm there with you. I used to.
What a lot of guys do is when they light a cigar, they'll use butane and they'll puff and light at the same time. You're actually, that butane, whether it's burnt or not, it still has a flavor to it, right? You are actually altering the flavor of the cigar, even a little bit, and you're not going to appreciate it. In your cigar boxes, there's always a piece of cedar when you buy a cigar, or if you go to a cigar shop and you say, hey, can I get this? Or if you light with a wooden match, always light with a wooden match that's a little longer. So when you strike it and you light it, you let the sulfur burn off, right? And then it's just the matchstick alone. Or you take that little piece of cedar, you crack it up and you use the cedar to light the cigar, and always roast it, never puff and draw into it if you don't have to, because what you're doing is you're going to change the flavor profile of the cigar as it comes up. This Saka Khan, Dunbarton Tobacco Company, Steve Saka, is as complex as a cigar gets. It's got a sweetness, it's got a boldness. It's a Nicaraguan, I believe, Esteli, Nicaragua. And it's filling. It's just robust, like from when you retrohale when you roll the tobacco through your nose, and you do it with the lighter part of it. You don't do it with a full palate full of smoke. But sure. It's a rich smoke. It's a rich smoke. And it's funny, my wife can usually tell when I'm smoking certain cigars what it is, and she'll call out something new, but she's like, oh, that's that Saka Khan that you really like. And I'm like, yeah, it's, and I sit on them, nice. When you put a cigar in your humidor, it's always nice.
You sit on the cigar? After you light the thing?
After I light it, because I like that little bit of.
Well, I sit like just. You got to go above it.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, so those are my 3 suggestions. I'll give a throw out a honorable mention to Stolen Thrones, Crook of the Crown. That's again, that's Nicaragua as well. That's a small boutique brand. His stuff is fantastic. So yeah. It's just like the cigar and the beer worlds are very similar, and the bourbon world. Yeah. There's just, there's boutique, there's your Macanudos, your Romeo and Juliets, your Ashtons that are mass produced, still delicious. And then you got your hand rolls to, your Steve Saka stuff, Dunbarton, Stolen Throne. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So yeah,
that's awesome. There you go.
I hope you guys wrote those down. And if you can find them, Dave, it's a good reason to start smoking cigars again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when we get into this, I'll tell you why I stopped smoking.
Fair enough.
There's a couple of reasons.
All right.
So my turn?
Your turn. Go for it.
And feel free to make fun of me, because some of my favorites are probably some of those that you probably passed off when you were 12 and grew out of. You mentioned Macanudos. Macanudos actually got me into cigar smoking, so I've got to put them on one of my lists of favorites. The Prince Philippe Cafe was one of my first favorite cigars. What I loved about it was, most avid cigar smokers say, well, you're just really sucking air because there's not a lot of flavor to them. They're very, very mild, but it's a great entry level. And you sit there, you're smoking so a Prince Philippe, that's a long cigar. I forget what the length of those are. But if you're smoking one of those and you're drinking at the same time, by the time you're done with the cigar, you're probably going to be pretty damn drunk. So it's a nice drinking cigar. Number two. There's no order to this, actually. There's no 1, 2, 3.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna say the second one is the Casablanca, the half Jeroboam. I love the feel of that in my mouth. It just sits perfectly. It's one of those that I can smoke, not have to have my hand on it, because it just fits. It just fits perfectly. It may not fit perfectly for every mouth, but I love the smoke of it. Again, another mild cigar, another Dominican.
It's 54 ring gauge.
Yeah, and that just
Dave likes something thicker in his mouth. That's what.
Yeah, I like it a little. Yeah, I like something with some beef in there. But so punch. I'm going to put punch on there as well, and I'm going to say the Rothschild. And the reason I'm saying the Rothschild, it is the last cigar I ever smoked. 2 reasons I stopped smoking cigars. One, a few lung issues on my part, which some of it may have been because of a bad cigar that it may have. After I got done smoking it, that day I went hiking, had a lot of issues, came back and realized that the in my humidor, the humidifying element that I had molded. So I was smoking mold. So that did some damage. Also, I've got a little bit of post-COVID, so kind of stay away from cigars. But the other reason is that cigar was given to me by a friend of mine from work, Steve Facenda. Everything I knew about cigars, I knew from Steve. He would smoke 2, 3 a day. He passed from throat cancer. And I had a punch that he'd given me. It was the punch Rothschild after his wake. Not to bring everything down here, but after his wake, I came home, grabbed myself a nice roasty stout, lit up the punch in his honor, and that's the last cigar I ever smoked.
There you go.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no busting your balls on that one.
No,
So,
not at all. Not at all.
Will I ever get back into it? I've got to get to the point where I can hump my ass up mountains like I love to do. That's one of my favorite pastimes, and not have to really stop and suck wind for about 10, 15 minutes and sit down. If I can get to that point, maybe I'll go back and puff one every now and then. Maybe 2, 3 a year. I used to love to do golf outings. That was always a time where I break something out to smoke, right?
Yeah.
Golf outings exist so people can drink beer and smoke cigars on a golf course.
That's the only reason to it. It's a bottle share and smoke share on golf carts.
On golf carts, exactly.
How more beautiful, dangerously stupid can you get? That's
exactly.
awesome.
Exactly.
Love it.
I smoke weed now on mine.
There you go. Well, I mean, you do it during that. Yeah.
I
mean, you can do it in and amongst the cigars too. I mean,
yeah.
I've heard.
I did see one golf outing. I did see someone roll their golf cart.
Oh, so you're saying they rolled
no.
golf cart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they rolled the golf cart and they smoked the thing. It was.
There you go. Love it.
They rolled it and there was liquid coming out of it. And when we realized, first we thought it was blood. We were relieved when we realized it wasn't blood. But then we realized that it was a really, really good bottle of beer that was coming out of.
That's a problem. You would have rather the blood.
I think the person in the golf cart would have rather the blood.
Right. Exactly. So anyway, I won't give you names. I'll just give you brands. I have my favorites of these, and that's fine. But I'll just throw them out there in lieu of time and talking about it. I do want to give an honorable mention, and I know it's not, the cigars that John mentioned before are phenomenal. I've had a Davidoff Tubo.
Oh God, that's such a.
I've had the Bravada 9 from Drew Estates too. I've not had the pleasure by any means of the Saka Khan. So I'd love to get my hands on 1 or 9 of those, but
or a whole box.
6 of 1, right? But I'll just throw the ones that I mean, I got to tell you, number 1's going to be my all time, and I know it's, I mean, certainly more mass produced than the other ones mentioned before, but it's just my all time favorite cigar brand, and it dates back a long ways. But anyway, throw it. Alec Bradley. I've had some decent cigars from Alec Bradley, and it's an honorable mention.
No, the Alec. So that's a Nicaraguan cigar. You like a Nicaraguan cigar? Alec.
Oh yeah.
The Alec Bradley Esteli is a the Black Market Esteli is an amazing cigar. It's an amazing cigar.
It's really. I've got about my humidor is right there. I'm pointing at it. So stand up.
I still have my humidor. My humidor. You know who made my humidor?
Who made your humidor?
Tiffany's.
Oh well,
fancy.
Well, he might know somebody there.
I might know somebody. It's Burlwood, and I still have it. It's, of course, John, say it with me. It's in a box.
It's in a box in storage.
Storage. There we go.
There you go. Anyway, I've got a couple of them in there. But
Tiffany humidors?
No, the Alec Bradleys.
No.
But my number 3, and I'm just going all time, right? I'm not necessarily doing what I'm. You'll hear anyway. Number 3, Romeo and Julieta. I mean, just a fantastic cigar. I mean,
Romeo e Julieta.
Romeo e Julieta. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah. Well, it's a foundation brand. It's a foundation brand. The foundation of what cigars are today or formed.
Right, and make no mistake, I try to find some of the more special ones. I don't just go and buy, your run of the mill ones. My Patrons, anytime I walk in humidor and there's anniversarios sitting there, I'm grabbing a bunch of sticks and taking them and putting them in my humidor. So
yes, I smoked an anniversario last night.
Did you?
Yep.
Very good. It's such a good cigar. It's such a good cigar.
Yes, it is.
And my number 1, just in general, Arturo Fuente. Obviously, if I get my hand on an Opus X, obviously is what to go. But just the sun-grown Hemingway short stories. Short
story. Yes.
I always grab a few short stories. Just I mean, it's what? It's a 20-minute cigar, right? It's right. Yep. So, but yeah, I always got to grab those. And the story, what really started me at Arturo Fuente. My oldest daughter's gonna be 30 years old next January, and when she was born, I bought. They amounted to the curly heads, right? But they were. It was a little. They were a little. I guess they were one step up from the curly heads, but it was. They actually had them branded "It's a Girl" Fuente cigars. They were like one step up from the curly heads, and and everybody that I bought 2 boxes of them. Everybody that I gave the cigar, something like, this is the best "It's a Girl" cigar I've ever had, right? So that's like. That's a throwback, but yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That the short stories, I grabbed the short stories, the Hemingways, the sun-grown Hemingways, Maduros, of course, and anytime I get up 6. But yeah, Arturo Fuente is great. And a quick other honorable mention: my cigar shop here, local in Belmar, Senor Juan's. Every Saturday afternoon, there's a guy hand rolling Dominicans in the store. I always, every other week I go up and grab a couple of them.
Filler and leaf?
Everything's, he does everything. Hand rolls everything right there. You right in front of you, hand rolls it, boom, and I take it home.
Question for both of you. Mm-hmm. Your favorite method of the snipper or the punch?
I use a Moyle. But
yeah, mobile.
I get them down. It's a portable bris thing.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like a nice cat's eye cut. I do like a nice cat's eye cut.
I
prefer a punch. A lot of times when you do just a straight cut, you can fuck up the cap, right? So I like a nice punch. So it's
you got to get in the right air. Yeah, you got to get below that line.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I do the cat's eye too. I do a V cut. I get that. Yeah, I'll do a punch once in a while, but I generally do the.
I do. I forgot about the cat because I do have a cat's eye. I do have a snip as well.
And by the way, just to harken back to something John said, absolutely 100%. Match light your cigar, toast the end, get it going. Toast the end, get it going. Even with the wood, even with the match, but. On occasion, I have needed to light a cigar where it was really windy. You never,
Oh yeah, you need the butane lighter.
You need the butane, but if you're using the torch, you don't, use a torch.
Don't go straight on.
Right. Use a torch.
Roast it.
Toast the end. Roast the end.
First.
Pull it away. pull on a little bit, bring it back, toast the end a little bit. Yeah, you never suck the
but
butane into
an
the cigar.
oblique angle with that torch.
Oh yeah, never straight on,
Nice.
always on the side.
Never straight on.
So,
Little beer
There you go.
talk, little event talk, some cigar talk.
Cigar
It's a
talk.
hell of a show, gentlemen.
absolutely, gotta love it.
And we thank you so much, John, for coming back on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And it's
always.
literally been almost 100 episodes since you've been on.
It's
so-
been 2 years,
Yeah.
two years, 100 episodes. The scars from the first time John was on have healed in John, so he was able to come back on.
He's able to come back on again, right?
That's it.
He got
Nice.
over the PTSD of the first episode.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like that.
That's it. Takes time.
All right.
Takes time and therapy.
All right. Hang on 1 second. Don't go anywhere. I just want to talk to you for 2 seconds before you go in and have your hamburger helper because I'm starving too. Let me just wrap up the show. Stick
I'm
around
not.
for 1 second. I know you ate already. Yeah, you're on it. So. Anyway,
He boiled
Well,
for his sins.
he boiled for his sins. Exactly. So, but we want to wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 Eastern time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. John, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was a blast. It's always great to talk to you, and talk to you many times during the year, but especially on the podcast, it's always a blast talking to you. And
I appreciate you guys taking the time to have me.
I'm glad you came on, and we will see you. Obviously, well, I'll talk to you before that, but we will both see you on June 3rd. And good luck getting anything done. Anything you need me to help out with, any posts, whatever, just let us know. We'll throw them up on Lager Room, guys. And drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we'll talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
My beer's empty.
Cheers. Yeah.
Damn
Cheers.
it. You know the beer.